Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM22 Dragons, episode 19. I'm going to put all my time and effort and focus for the next little bit into whether we make it to Continental Pro or not. We're not going to make World Tour. In fact, we've already been bumped well out of that one at this stage. We are 27th in the rankings. It's late August. A lot of the signings are done by this stage. Let's see how much of the signings are actually done. Let's also make that comparison on where we're at compared to everybody else. Beginning with the later, UAE, Ineos are on top, well ahead of the chasing pack. You got Movistar, the first one to really come in above that 4-star mark. And then the 4-star mark, that's where we're at. I can just see the hint of a sliver with Tudor. I don't even see a sliver at all. So from 16th, presumably to us, and then some, yeah, the rankings are identical. So I previously noted that we are missing just the hint of a sliver, but that's how close this field is. That is insanely close. That from Colpack, where you can clearly see that they have 4 full stars, I can still clearly see 4 full stars. Down to somewhere around Leclerc is maybe just about missing something, but no, I can definitely tell Drone Hopper is missing just a little bit off of that star, as are we, and as are, I'd say, down to about Equipo Kern Pharma behind us. Then it definitely starts to get more noticeable that you are missing even as much as a quarter of a star by beat cycling, more than a quarter of a star by beat cycling. So we do have a little bit of a gap on the teams that are behind us in the standings. That's obviously a good sign because the Continental Pro cutoff for Total Energies, they're at about 3.6 stars, where we are pretty much 4 full. So there's a healthy gap right now behind us on the cutoff, but we are starting to get nervously down there. We honestly are much closer to making World Tour status again than we are to going backwards. We are where we are. So of course the big thing then is what external signings are left that can drastically alter teams. The internal development, usually you're not going to see major changes. You're going to move up, fluctuate 1 to 2 positions once the big signings are out of the way. Ben Askey is the last big signing at 5.5 stars. It's the only one. We have one of those. So that could be a game changer for someone. But in terms of 5 stars, well, Florent Gilles gives us a page worth. Below him, there's an additional 4 guys. And then it falls off to 4.5 stars. And 4.5 stars are not going to be impactful enough. So that's not bad. That's not bad. That list is getting pretty short. But that could still be 2, 3, 4 positions that could be lost to another team. So I could still see us falling down to about 31st once these signings have been gone through. Maybe 32nd. Internal development could push a position or 2. If that goes the wrong way, if we don't have any internal development the rest of the way, I could still see us falling to about 33rd. 35th is the cutoff. We might make it yet. Let's push forward 2, 3, 4 weeks, something like that, and see where we land. 10th of September, that's about a half a month. It's been about 2.5 weeks now. We dropped 1 position, so just 28th. And then actually, we had somebody level up just in the last couple of days, and that's Lieberman. Lieberman was the last guy showing up on the page below Locke. And Lieberman is now just above Alpasov and has taken over the 3rd spot. But it did not improve our ranking, and we saw how close it was. So I'm assuming one of 2 things. Either A, Alpasov and Lieberman have the exact same rating, and Lieberman just is showing up above him. That could be the case, and so there's no actual change to what our ranking was. Or Lieberman is literally like a tenth of a point better because, I mean, look at how many 4.5 star guys we have. How much better can we possibly get without still reaching 5 stars? Therefore, if he did manage to get 1/10, maybe Alpasov was like 0.8 and Lieberman's 0.9 towards that 5 stars. Could be. If that's the case, then you're talking about a very, very, very small difference in the overall average between the three guys. If you're improving by 1/10, the average over three guys means you're improving by 0.03. It's so marginal, so marginal on what that gain would be or would show up as. Now, it could be enough to actually hit that 5-star average and be there, and I think that would have moved us up spots. So my guess is Lieberman's on the same rating as Alpasov, but there's still a chance for that internal growth. But the big news for now is that we've only dropped one spot. We are still 28th with a cutoff of 35th. It's starting to look even better. Let's go check those dossiers and see how many of those 5-star and the 5.5-star guys, how many of them are gone, because that's the more important one. That's the one that's going to make us more fluid, more solid in our position if they're gone, as the internal stuff is less frequent. Well, Ben Askey is still out there and still available, but the number of 5-star guys has cut in half. We're down to just 7 of them plus Askey. So 8 guys who can impact a rating. The others at 4.5 stars, I'm just, not really worried about them. There are a fair number of them out there, and that's the thing about the database, right? It's really, really pushed up to a lot of 4.5-star talents. And that's why the new norm, the new cutoff is you've got to get to that 5-star level. Aiden King's still 4.5, so he's not pushing up our average or anything like that. By the way, Lieberman's upgrade makes him look like this: 76 mountains, 74 hills. Very, very well-rounded, all-around type rider at the moment, who's still not, great climbing levels. He's at good levels right now, but he's still got the potential to hit great levels. Not elite Grand Tour winner levels, but man, oh man, he's getting close and just 21 years of age. And by the way, with the decline of riders left and having only dropped one position so far and seen that list decrease by half, I was saying that the list the way it was long enough to see us drop from 27th potentially to about 30th or 31st. Half that list is gone. We've only dropped to 28th. Now at this rate we dropped to 29th, but it's looking better that we don't fall below that 31st, right? The odds of not being worse off than I was predicting are better. There's still a chance that we do fall to that stage, to that 31st, but I don't see us falling any lower, which means, the internal development stuff and that couple positions, I'm starting to feel more confident that we've done it, that we are finally there, that we are going to hit Continental Pro, but there's still a full month to go in the signing period, in the development period, for the internal part to kick in. But day by day, it's looking better that we might just make it. I'd say I would bump up our odds by a good 25%, and I'd say it's definitely well above 50% at this point that we are going to make it. Where exactly? I don't know, but I'm starting to say, I'd say probably 80-85% right now. I'm where I was thinking 65-ish, so maybe 20% better than where we were when I did that first check-in back in late August. It's one thing to lose riders, but it's another in this playthrough, because there can be good things from it, and I've started to talk about those more recently, but here's a perfect example of that. Now, Hossein Zada has already moved on to another team on PNS. I'm not even sure who that ultimately is going to be. I believe it's a new sponsor on the grid for next year, so I don't know what team it's going to ultimately replace. So I'm not sure where Hossein Zada is. I've seen a couple other guys move on at this stage, and that's good for them to prolong their careers and not just peter out and retire and be out of the database. But here's a perfect example of how a rider moving on and leaving the team is not necessarily a bad thing, and that is Tominaga moving on to Bora Hansgrohe. This is a rider moving into a World Tour team where he's going to get opportunities to go out and race. And if Tominaga wins a random odd stage here, there, somewhere, anywhere, it's going to see him raise the profile of Japan. Now, is Tominaga that good? Probably not. He's probably not going to get that win. But if he does go to World Tour and earns that odd win, or even just in Continental Pro at the right level and earns that odd win, it's going to do it. It's going to do it. So him being on Bora Hansgrohe, it's a good thing. It's a very good thing. And so I'm glad that he has signed there. And yeah, this is not just about our team. It's a really unique perspective that I've never been able to have in this game before, that we are rooting for a continent. And you know, I've loved seeing Lutsenko pick up the wins that he's picked up. Getting these guys on the right teams is a good thing. Askey has signed, so Askey is onto a roster now. It's only been another, well, not even quite a week, but let's see who else has gone from that list. Oh boy, we're down to just 2 5-star riders left: Daniel Bravo and Buguera. Sure. 2 5-star riders left, and we're still 28th. Folks, we got a month. Things can change, but you've got to bump that 85% up to 90 plus now, maybe 95. I don't think I've ever seen a drop of more than 7 positions, which is what would be required. I don't think I've seen a drop of more than 3 to 4 in terms of the internal development stuff once all the signings are, cleared out and out of the way. Now there's still 4.5-star guys out there, and somebody with, 2 5.5s and then a sudden drop off to 3 stars being your next best rider. You sign a 4.5 and you're talking about a substantial upgrade to your team. Theoretically, these 4.5s could still impact something, but realistically, there's no team in that situation right now. I'm starting to feel pretty damn confident. It's not in the bag yet. Things can change over the next month, but oh boy, it's looking good. I think we might have done it. Really coming up on the end of the season now. We've only dropped 1 further position, 29th, and it's just about wrapped up. I mean, we have less than a week until the market closes, and the guys are signed. So the reality is it's 99% right now. It's 99%. We are almost over that line. Therefore, a couple things. One, Taihu Lake for the billionth time. Doesn't matter. Japan Cup, I want to give you one more race before we go out and wrap this episode up and wrap this season up. So we will have the Japan Cup, but we're going to bypass Taihu Lake because next year, barring that 1% chance now, next year we are headed to Continental Pro, and we're going to have higher profile races. Here's the thing about that. Moving up to Continental Pro is not automatic suddenly, ooh, hey, everything's resolved and we're going to start raising the database. Competition's going to be harder. So the wins that we're suddenly getting this year are going to be much harder to manage next year. We still have a team that's like barely edging our way into that level, but Schechter's pretty quick. So we might be able to pull some wins here and there, but we're not going to just massively have a calendar full of World Tour races. We're going to have invites to 2 or 3 or 4 World Tour races, and then I'm going to apply to everything. And we might get 1 or 2 more. So we might have 4, 5, 6 World Tour races next year. That's it. Until we go and finish in the top 3 in Continental Pro in the rankings, we are not suddenly in. So we're going to have our hands full trying to do that. and try to take the higher profile races and go out and have some success with those and score the points for an individual to raise that particular country's training rating. So there's some trade-off here. The process starts, but it's not going to just suddenly be, oh, here you are, you've stamped your ticket, right? It's only Continental Pro, and we're going to be on the back foot without a reputation. So it's gonna take further time, and we have to then go on and retain Continental Pro status. One key to that is obviously hanging on to Scheckter long term, hanging on to Oscar, and getting to 3+ guys that have 5 stars and keeping them. So the increased finances, let's hope we can afford to hang on to guys. No, we're not heading to any 6-star kind of guys. So keeping guys around and not losing them the way we're used to losing them in my regular career mode series is maybe a bit more of a possibility. Scheckter, I'm a little worried about because he's at that 5.5 and still has some potential left in him. He's going to be an expensive re-signing, but if we can get him re-signed for 25-30K, then we're golden. In the meantime, a couple updates on races around the world. Il Lombardia has been a Quinn Simmons victory ahead of Aaron Burrow and Carlos Rodriguez. In the World Championships, it's Fabio Jakobsen ahead of Askey, who just finally signed, and Eekhoff, and that's, right now he's with whatever that is, with Sun God. And in the time trial, it's Filippo Ganna, of course. He is just 2-3 points beyond anybody else in the time trialing these days. Vetapol and Asgreen, second and third. Meanwhile, in Taihu Lake, Hossein Zada actually won the opening stage prologue. He had a +5 entering into it. The prep, the objective, gave him a large enough bonus that even though he's only a 72-73, he turned that into a 1-second victory there, which now has him, sitting first across the board with 2 stages to go. But with a sprint victory, Hodap has taken over the lead, so Hossein Zada drops to 2nd place. And even though I was only planning on the Japan Cup, we're going to start right at the base of the climb with our sprint chain, trying to set up Hossein Zada for a potential victory at Taihu Lake. Might as well go for it, right? And with just 96 riders left in the field, Chu is already on the front. We've already got our sprint train in place, and we are about to begin the final climb, which is 15 kilometers in length, just 5% up. And we've got one of the stronger teams here. We've got a group of riders. I brought the best team that I could to this one. I think we could come away with a result here today. Okay, now that we're climbing, Chu is just not quite as fast as some of these guys, and so you're getting teams coming forward and pushing and changing the tempo and making it faster. So Chu's going to have to just speed up. It's going to use him up, but that's okay. Starting with Lieberman, we're looking at a 76 mountain rating. Punchiness, though, he's got a 70 today, and that's what's helping him stay a little bit faster. And now we're done with him and on to Lieberman, and I thought I reset these guys on the effort. I did not. They're still sitting on 70s. That's not good. 4.5K. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. We're not going to wait on Lieberman and what he's got left, but he can try to break toe. You gotta look. We're down to 69 in the field. Only a few riders here at the top still left in contention, and it's already 3K, so gel for the rest of them. Alpasov using up the last of his energy, now 2.9, and 99 effort from here on out, I think. 60 riders left. Taminaga going full gas. We will have to pause for the next guy. We can't afford that split second of 75 effort level. So Ganai pushing 1.4K, splitting the field, attacking. Final kilometer, Yamamoto attacking. Hossein Zada in position, looking for the overall. Ganai is going to take the stage. So stage win for Ganai, but he was 26 seconds down overall. Cluckers, Jelen, Yamamoto, Hossein Zada, and the guy down minute in 6th. Beating him is always big. And splits. And the guy who was in contention versus us, who had the overall race lead, is not in the top 14 at all. It's already been a minute 15, so we blew up the field. Yeah, that should do it. Hossein Zada probably going to hang on to the overall, and then Gunai is going to be up there. Yamamoto is going to be up there. Just a quick recap, because I still want to do the Japan Cup. Gunai wins, Yamamoto, Hossein Zada, top 7 all get same time. And then we're looking at 36 seconds down to Tominaga. And so Jellin with 4 bonus seconds. With 4 bonus seconds, Jellin overtakes Hossein Zada for the overall race victory. We get second, we get third, we get 7th, we get 12th. Oh, man. That's gut-wrenching. Not really. It's fine. Next year is where it's going to start counting. We already saw that these 2HC races weren't amounting to anything, unfortunately. Gunai gets the points classification with the stage victory, though. So there's something. 43K to go here at the Japan Cup. The breakaway had 8 riders. It now has 14. So some riders attacked and have bridged that gap in the last about 15 to 20K or so. This is the version of the Japan Cup that I don't quite like as much, but this year we're well suited to it. We've got a really good race day condition for a lot of riders that are much better climbers than what they used to be. The peloton's already down to 55 riders. 3 of the breakaway riders have been dropped. 2 more are dropped. That's largely probably the ones that were in the break for the most part, previously not hanging on to the guys that have now attacked and gone forward. And we're going to have to work hard to chase back here at some stage. I'm not going to wait till the last 2 climbs to have a go. I think I'm going to have a go a bit sooner than that. We're not that far behind those guys at 2 minutes, but 2 minutes can be a lot if that's including some of your favorites out there. That could actually be a pretty hard chase. So for now, we're already going 85 to make sure we are holding our position. You're seeing a lot of fatigue in the legs already, even on the guys that are, sitting on +5s. So big time effort here. It's the next one where I'm going to start having a go and try to split the field. 27K to go. Not that much longer here, and we are seeing the peloton get smaller. 49 riders now. And the front group is largely broken up and disorganized, and it's 23K to go. Soon. Okay, I'd say this group hit this red car. There we go. It's time. It is time. 21K to go. With the descent twice, that shortens this time frame down quite a bit. Brandon No is going to definitely go first. We got the 99 set, which is good. Tominaga is on the weaker side today. Lieberman is on the weaker side today. Gunai is on the weaker side today. And look at that, 3 guys with +5s. Who to ride for? That's an 82.78. That's an 83.76. And that's an 82.83. So Yamamoto, Hossein Zada, and Alpasov turning into one of our leaders very suddenly here of late. Tominaga also gel, and Brandon No. Let's go, you boys. Let's get in there. 48 left in the peloton, 6 left at the front, and I'm guessing they are probably the 6 that attacked, or at least 5 of the 6 that attacked. These are lapped riders. Those are lapped riders. And what happened, Lieberman? Keep that pressure on. We drop the peloton to 39 riders now. And if Tominaga gets up in position, we'll have him take over from Lieberman as soon as we hit the flat. You know what? Actually, Lieberman's much better on the flat anyway. Tominaga can climb. And Brandon No has recovered a little bit. So we'll put him second in line. Guys are still trying to attack. Okay, and this is the beginning. Round 1. There's that red car that we passed, and Tominaga, get out of the line. Gel for Gunai. Lieberman, give me your last little acceleration to set up Gunai. 10K to go, last 2 climbs. And there's only 1 rider left off the front. So that was the big thing, is we needed to make sure we pull those guys back. And that's Patoki. Matrix power tag. sponsor that I had on the career mode. 27 left in contention. And Ganai is about to hit the front. We're going to go 99 on him. Take these 3 guys, put them all on auto. 16 left, and we've got 4 of them. And we are set up for the last climb. Ganai is just going to lead this thing out for as long as he can at full gas. Once we get down to the flat, we'll drop that a little bit to set up our 3 guys. There really isn't... This isn't all the way up to the top. No, it very much is not. So, looking at the sprint... What sprint? 68 top speed. Hell no. No! Yamamoto is our sprinter. Kunai still has enough to give a lead out for Yamamoto. This isn't going to be about the punchy. It's going to be about the sprint. And we dropped 2 more riders who just couldn't hang with the pace. 14 left. And we've got 4 of them. We're going to get ourselves a top 10, that's for sure, but 2.6 sprinting now. Hossein Zada starting his sprint. Now full sprinting, 13 left. Gunai sprinting. Yamamoto sprinting. Sparagli fades, and Yamamoto's finally going to win! The Japan Cup to the Japan Master. Face cam in the wrong spot. I'm sorry about that, but... And he's finished twice in second place here. He finally gets the win. Finally gets the breakthrough. All right. Great way to end the season, huh? Here's the interesting thing about the results. Yamamoto takes the win, but then you have European, Canadian, in particular, Stown Minute in 6th. So again, we managed to beat him. But then it's our riders. All of the top 10 are non-Asian. It's the Japan Cup. There was a ton of Asian teams here, and yet the race is dominated. Japanese teams. Another Japanese team. Thailand team. I mean, the teams are Asian. The race is Asian. But the riders finishing at the top are their mostly European implants. The guys that they brought in from outside are the dominant ones. But we get 4 guys in the top 10. The first non-us Asian finisher was Fujimoto. And then Aiden Kang. Aiden Kang is going to be on our team next year. Imagine what we could do with the addition of him. Now, he's not that great right now, but he will be instantly one of our better guys that could be at a race like this. I mean, he will definitely be in our 8 to 10 best riders, which is why we're bringing him over. But yeah, interesting note that, you know, we're up against it, as the, you know, the foreign riders are definitely the best around. But Yamamoto, best on the day, finally gets the win. Lutsenko has made the shortlist for the Rider of the Year award. Interesting that he's done that well, considering he's down to 4.5 stars. We need to go back and check and see what happened with the major races. But transfer market has closed. We slipped 1 more spot on the final signing day, but 30th is enough. We will make Continental Pro. Grunewagen, the biggest transfer. Kolpak, the team that was right down there with us, is going to make the jump all the way to World Tour. Wow. Wow. How have they pulled that one off? Tudor is also going up. Astana back into World Tour. So that is fantastic news for our efforts, for our goals. Israel Premier Tech remain in Continental Pro. And you can see that we are very much headed up. Total Energies is out of Continental Pro. Wow, that's interesting. And you're seeing a lot of teams going down. It's very fluid. Uno X is going down. It is so tightly compacted here. I mean, you're looking at 3 stars. Way down at like 163rd is 3 stars. We were at 3.25 2 years ago and barely missed Continental Pro. That is how much deeper this database is getting and how strong the teams are overall. There's just a lot of good riders out there. Not quite the elite ones, but you can see we are right on that 4th star now. And yeah, we're going to be there. And, World Tour is 4 stars and a fraction. Bahrain Victorious has a fraction of a star. ATT below them has 4 full stars. So 4 and 1/10. Is that even, can we even count that? Astana and Bahrain as 1/10? Bahrain Victorious also. I don't think they have any Bahraini riders though, do they? Like UAE. Oh my goodness, Lutsenko won the Tour de France. Lutsenko won the Tour de France. Holy cow, ahead of Pogačar and Arnsman. There is no way he's done that on merit. Lutsenko, let's look at the result. He's only a 78 mountain, 78 hills, 76 time trial. There's no chance that he won this regularly. He's so well rounded though, but he was 21st in points. He was 36th in the KOM. This had to be a breakaway stage. Let's see. Let's break it down stage by stage. 148th, 26th on a punchy stage. Bunch of sprint stages. Okay. So we have, starting with stage 8, 77th, 60th, 54th on a mountain stage. He's losing time here. He's 11th. He's 4th on the 14th stage, probably from the breakaway. Probably gaining... Yeah, he never won a stage. 20th, 26th, 14th. 7th on the time trial at the end. 2nd on the Champs-Élysées. I would bet you every dollar that I have in the bank account that what happened on that 14th stage is a breakaway victory of 10 plus minutes. Massive advantage over the field. Now he's only 4th place, but the 3 guys that were ahead of him are probably less than a minute up the road. And they probably had a significantly larger gap entering that stage than Lutsenko has. They win by 13 minutes, 18 minutes, 20 minutes, and he was probably 7 minutes down. He gains 6 minutes overall. Stage 16, he loses 2. Stage 17, he loses another 2. Stage 18, he loses 30 seconds. At the time trial, he takes 7th, loses another 45 seconds, takes 2nd, Champs-Élysées, and, wins by a minute. Exactly what's happening in my career mode save right now. I won't give away too much because I've recorded a little bit ahead of a time. I think the last episode that I recorded of that, you're going to see tomorrow in terms of the comparison of that one versus this one. So I don't want to give away too much there, but it's exactly the same thing that's happening there with Trago. You give a breakaway rider too much time, a good enough climber like Lutsenko, it's hard to come back. He didn't win a single stage, and he won the Tour de France. Alrighty. Good on him. Yeah, his 17th Grand Tour, and he comes away with a victory. World ranking is 17th. Is that enough to bring up the 17th, or a 5th training level nation? Man, I'd love to see it at a point. Let's look at those individuals. Pogačar, Van Aert, Martinez, Jakobsen, Benaski was 4th. He was holding out for a big payday. Yamamoto, 12th in the continental rankings. Schechter was 17th. Super Prestige. Lutsenko, 17th. 1306, same as Glog. Oh, man. Few more points, right? And he's top 15, and that can make a big difference. Get him ahead of Vanderpool. Get him 14th, and I think that would be enough. 17th? I don't know. Maybe. Definitely the highest Asian rider in the rankings for sure. And only, a level 5 nation. That could do it. Yamamoto is 52nd. Moves up 24 spots after winning the Japan Cup. Is that enough for a nation with a level 2 training structure? We'll see. I'm going to look to be up higher next year. That's going to be the aim. That's going to be the aim for next season, is to try to get somebody, Schechter, Yamamoto, get them up into a high enough ranking to boost the training structure. Man, whew, exciting stuff to end this season. We make Continental Pro. Lutsenko has won the Tour de France. Yamamoto wins the Japan Cup. Hossein Zada finishes 4th. Doesn't lose any time. And the guy who finishes in 3rd, right ahead of him, ends up stealing. And then we, of course, win the stage. I mean, the high and low of that for the Taihu Lake. Man, crazy stuff. Well, I'm loving it. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Smash that like button, please. This is too cool. This is too cool. Are you as excited as I'm excited? Man, and there is the chance, January 1st, that we're going to see a training structure increase, possibly for Kazakhstan, possibly for Japan, because it's relative, right? Van Aert finishes first. Belgium's not going to see an increase because they've already got a level 8 or a level 9, and Slovenia has a very high level. Kazakhstan does not. And Japan has a very low level. I think it's a 2-9. So is that high enough to see a 2 rise up to a 3? You would think that would be high enough. The US has a 5 or a 6. 48th is probably not going to touch that. But with 17, it's quite a bit higher. Or does he have to... Do we need to get a Kazakhstani rider into the top 10 to see a 5 become a 6? Maybe. We'll find out next episode. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.